I must speak with you today, Mr. President, out of great concern for a very defamatory article one of my colleagues published yesterday. I'm greatly hurt and offended by the personal disparagement of my character and integrity. This member, with one other House colleague, directly implied that I, along with two of my esteemed UP House colleagues, don't have the mental prowess, the state of mind to reach our own conclusions on an issue, or have the fidelity to our oaths for the best interests of this state when it comes to the importance of Line 5. Finally, the article infers that we care more about money and special interests than protecting our citizens or the Great Lakes. While the authors derisively refer to the opinion piece my colleagues and I wrote, they do nothing to repudiate the arguments we made. Their piece disregards the arguments about the tens of thousands of jobs tied to Line 5 across the state. They disregard the needed products produced by thousands of workers across Southeast Michigan, Ohio, and Canada, and they ignore the vital service the line gives to our oil and gas industries all across Michigan. The authors speak out of concern about facts of rust and how nothing lasts forever, and then go on to mention how long the line has lasted. They falsely allege the current pipeline's in poor condition, something that no study has shown. They insist that viable alternatives are just around the corner by this new task force, even though the task force is the third or fourth task force and study we've had looking for solutions to our issue. And you know what? They discovered that a tunnel was one of the best options for the future. And it didn't come from Enbridge, it came from Michigan Tech University. These are the effective, both economically and technically, alternatives that we have. A tunnel, or rebuilding the lines that we have. Not trucks, not trains. Their article doesn't say anything about the fact that we lived through this nightmare of the winter of 2014. They don't discuss that. They don't repudiate that. Just blow that over and accuse me of having no mental capacity to consider it. Instead, the only argument they really made to the technical aspect is on the UP propane situation. And they talk about, oh, the line, it only is 0.25% of the overall capacity of the line, so therefore we don't need it. Well, excuse the UP residents for being one of the largest users of propane in the country. Excuse the state of Michigan for being the largest user of propane for residences in the country. We need that energy, but let's disregard the UP for a few seconds here. I'm the only one, after all. Cheer for the Packers. I guess that's reason to disregard those of us who live there. The facts are that we have so many more vital arguments for the existence of Line 5 that to somehow repudiate our arguments with only one issue is insulting and wrong. You want to talk about dismissive, talk about they refer to the Attorney General and her great work on this issue. Oh, she's really fighting for the people of Michigan, except for those of us who need Line 5, I guess, the tens of thousands of jobs, the jet fuel at Detroit Metro Airport. And then the Attorney General boils it all down to, oh, they shouldn't be worried about this in the UP. It was only the cost of a couple of pasties. Oh, thanks a lot for the ethnically insensitive remarks, Attorney General Nessel. We could compare it to some other ethnic food around the state, too, I guess, because we're going to be losing jobs in Detroit. We're going to be losing jobs in Dow. We're going to be losing the oil jobs up north. Let's find some other ethnic foods to compare how much more it's going to cost and disregard the poverty across the UP. I'm outraged at the lack of persistent attachment to facts on this issue, and instead, well, let's bring up global warming. Oh, we got to stop Line 5 because of global warming. Oh, in 10 years, we'll have everything Green New Deal energy. I guess we're going to find that magic money pot along with the magic money that we are supposed to be getting for everything else around here. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. President.